What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quarter, and you're hoping to have an absolutely wonderful day. Interesting new development as Activision seems to have banned NickMercs from yet another event. All of this stemming from perhaps one of the biggest nothing burger statements I've ever seen online generate controversy. That was that NickMercs simply replied to a thread about parents who say didn't like certain pride lessons being taught to their children in schools, clashing with school board members, and ultimately really anti pro or whatever, like weirdos who don't have jobs showing up to cause trouble. So there was the parents, there was the school board, but then there's this whole other element of weirdos there. And all NickMercs really said, I mean, I'm not even paraphrasing, he said, leave kids alone. That's it. They should leave little kids alone. By the way, a statement that got nearly 90,000 likes compared to a leftist comment on it. So this happened 4 blocks from my Overwatch League apartment, whatever. Americans are in a sad place right now. I don't think so. Americans are in an awesome place right now. And it's like anybody who tells you things aren't awesome right now is probably a loser. I'm not saying that, inflation sucks and our president is crappy, and but it's still an awesome time to be alive. Just think about it. People that are perpetually complaining and perpetually being victims, they just suck as people. And again, you see this comment get 90,000 likes just because basically everybody agrees with leaving them kids alone, except now it looks like NickMercs has been banned from yet another product. By the way, my company, Coffee Brand Coffee, completely apolitical, is having a sale today. Promo code The Quarter, and you can save site-wide off your order. The Quarter in one word. We have nearly 20 different coffees, all available in whole bean and ground. We have cold brew bags that are absolutely flying off the shelves for summer. We have decaf, we have blueberry cobbler, which is our top, strawberries and cream, blackberry cream, hazelnut churro, so many great flavors. We have a double caffeinated, we have a decaf, we have everything, we have K-Cups, everything you could ever want. And also today is the last day to order a Coffee Brand Coffee, the Quartering crossover hat. I'm only doing a one-time merch drop, so links for both in the description below, and I would absolutely love to earn your support today. NickMercs dropped from another huge Call of Duty contract. It looks like NickMercs' relationship with Call of Duty is well and truly dead in the water. His venture into Apex Legends amid a stifled Warzone experience started straining his love affair with the community, having once been a search and destroy legend. That's a format of the game if you don't play it. But following the removal of his operator amid anti-LGBTQ, again, it's not anti-LGBTQ comments, it's pro-kids. Safety, right? On his Twitter, it now seems like Activision is severing ties with NickMercs, all ties with NickMercs, as he has now been dropped from another Call of Duty deal. Now, I have DM'd NickMercs to confirm whether or not this was an optional thing for him or not. I haven't heard back. I don't expect, I'm not like, the New York Times. I don't expect him to reply. But I have asked him, I said, because there is still the possibility that he just said peace out. Like he might not have been terminated. He might have said, you know what, I don't even want to promote this thing right now. And who could blame him given everything going on? But also Tim the Tatman. With the Call of Duty League World Championships kicking off yesterday actually, NickMercs was originally supposed to be among the string of influencers who were being paid to co-stream the event. It was supposed to bring their communities over to watch the Pinnacle Call of Duty esports event. The streamer previously revealed on stream that he is being paid by Activision to co-stream the event, rooting for Atlanta FaZe along the way. However, after his pro-child safety comments on Twitter, which have sparked a Call of Duty boycott in support of him, NickMercs has now been dropped from the roster. The official list of co-streamers has been revealed without his name. The official Watch Party roster contains a wealth of Call of Duty personalities from ex-pros like Scrump, Zuma, and I don't know who any of these people are. I'm sure they're all more popular than me, no disrespect. I'm not a esports guy. I like Dr. Disrespect. I'm liking NickMercs now more, but it's just I'm not in that world, so no disrespect to the streamers that are on this list. Interestingly, Tim the Tatman has also been left off the list after uniting behind NickMercs and asking for his game bundles too, having previously co-streamed CDL events in seasons gone by. So the other question is now, Tim had not said explicitly that he was involved and he was going to co-stream, but one would think it's a fair estimation or fair assumption that he was also going to co-stream, that Activision's just completely noped out. For NickMercs, this looks like the end of his Call of Duty relationship, as Apex Legends esports continue to be his main passion, and a wealth of FPS games are lined up to serve as pastimes instead of Warzone. There is one that came out today that's like up to 256 people in a lobby. It's wildly popular. You can play it on like a potato. This whole thing is insane. And if you look, obviously at Call of Duty, here's a Call of Duty League, biggest event, biggest watch party. You see the event here. You see a lot of people saying, where's Nick? And again, I don't want this to be, you see a lot of course, leave children alone. I don't think it's fair to, you don't want to dump on the people that are competing in the event. They're just trying to do their own thing. I think it's only fair that you can't like dunk on them because they're just doing their job. Just like, Nick wasn't trying to make Activision look bad. He wasn't commenting about anything Call of Duty related. He was just having his own opinion. But, the entire media machine has called him, like, his statement wasn't even any kind of anti-anything. It was just like, hey, leave little kids alone. I think that's a fine statement to make. Apparently, Activision does not think that's a fine statement to make. And of course, by the way, the entirety of all of the, media machine has called him anti-LGBTQ. And what's funny is they put it in quotes. You know why they put this in quotes, by the way? Is so they don't get sued. That's why. Because when Deserto says he's under fire for anti-LGBTQ comments, this is why they're so cowardly. Just so, I think a lot of new, by the way, shout out if you're new to the channel, and I hope that I'll earn your subscription. I know maybe it's not the typical Call of Duty gameplay stuff you're used to watching, but I try to have a level take on things, and I try to educate people along the way. The reason these cowards are putting it in quotes is so that they can say someone else said it, but they can still call him a bigot. That's what this is. If Deserto had any balls at all, they wouldn't put the quotes on it. But this way they get to call him, they get to smear his name, and then they can say, oh, well, we didn't say that. Someone else said it. The media has been doing this forever. It's how they get away with slandering and issuing libelous statements about people. And you see, like, again, this was not a Pride Month tweet. It was just NickMercs saying, bro, leave kids alone. Then you have Optic Hutch also called out Nick's tweet, telling him the gays are going after your kids is the same tired claim that folks with feeble minds have been saying for decades and decades. Now it's not new. Well, I would ask Optic Hutch to simply look up that teacher in California who got caught on tape 3 days ago threatening students with Saturday school if they didn't consume Pride propaganda. Or how about the teacher going after kids in a middle school in Canada last week who said that the kids didn't belong in their country if they didn't go to all the Pride events, okay? The idea that they're not, that the idea that this is some kind of crazy right-wing conspiracy is called gaslighting. They are not, I'm not saying, like, I'm not purporting the LGBTQ community is exclusively going after kids. I'm saying it happens. Why do you think you keep seeing all these teachers and oh, here's a book called Bye Bye Binary for 3-year-olds about being called they, them. Who's that book for? Are they not targeting kids with that book? Is that book for adults that read at a child's level? Golden Boy, another legendary esports caster, replied, I'm disappointed in you, Nick. Teaching acceptance and tolerance for everyone is a valuable life skill. You know what? Sure. Maybe have it, let the parents teach it. And by the way, accepting everybody is fine. Pummeling people with a 30-day straight nonstop, deep-throating LGBTQ propaganda for a month and being told you're a bigot if you get sick of it or bored of it. Like, I was talking about this yesterday on Community Notes with Sydney. Like, I'm like seriously getting put. Like, I've been so hard live and let live my whole life, but like this year, it's just like, oh my God, like enough is enough. All right, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Cool, we're used to it. Now stop yelling at us about it. Stop acting like victims. No one cares in the West. You want to talk about what's going on to that community in Saudi Arabia or some Middle Eastern countries? I'll listen to you. Okay, but stop pretending you're a victim in the United States. You're practically worshipped. You have the ultimate shield for your bad behaviors too. Okay, so no, and I think Nick. I think he's doing the smart thing by laying low. He knows he won. This is a W for Nick anyway. He's gained more than 100,000 Twitter followers, I think. And also, obviously, I'm sure when he comes back to stream, he tweeted something out the other day. It's got 36,000 likes. He's going to be just fine. Call of Duty is not the only game out there. It's never been more diverse for FPS games. So, you know what? Huge loss for Call of Duty. I'm sure it sucks because he probably loves the game, but I think he'll be better for it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.